Forget everything you thought you knew about Burkina Faso. Once seen as a quiet, overlooked nation in West Africa, they are now rewriting the global playbook. Under the bold leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, this country is breaking free from traditional aid, forging powerful new alliances, and sending a clear message. Africa is rising, and its voice will no longer be silenced. This is more than politics. This is a diplomatic revolution. Stay tuned, because what's happening in Burkina Faso could change the entire future of Africa and the world. Let's dive in. The dawn of a new era, breaking free from Western dominance. For decades, African nations have been caught in a cycle of dependency, often dictated by Western powers through aid, loans, and political influence. Many of these relationships, cloaked in the language of development and partnership, have perpetuated economic exploitation, political interference, and cultural subjugation. Burkina Faso's recent diplomatic moves mark a decisive break from this legacy, signaling a new paradigm where African countries are no longer passive recipients, but active architects of their futures. Captain Ibrahim Traoré's leadership embodies this shift. He advocates for a vision of sovereignty that prioritizes mutual respect over paternalism. The nation's decision to withdraw from colonial influences, notably French military bases, is a powerful assertion of independence. It is a statement that Burkina Faso will chart its own course, building partnerships on its own terms, not under the shadow of old colonial hierarchies. A network of new alliances, South-South cooperation in action. At the heart of Burkina Faso's diplomatic revolution is the embrace of South-South cooperation, a model of collaboration among developing countries that emphasizes equality, shared challenges, and mutual development. This approach contrasts sharply with traditional North-South aid models, which often come with strings attached and reinforce dependency. On June 26th, 8 nations, India, Turkey, Bangladesh, Sierra Leone, Luxembourg, Equatorial Guinea, Cuba, and Gabon, quietly pledged allegiance to Burkina Faso's new diplomatic vision. This unprecedented gathering marked a symbolic shift. These countries are no longer simply recipients or peripheral players, but are active partners in shaping a new global order. India, a historic ally and model of self-determination. India's relationship with Burkina Faso dates back to 1976, rooted in shared histories of resisting colonial influence and advocating for grassroots development. Over the years, India has provided scholarships, agricultural training, medical support, solar electrification, and ICT centers, practical projects that directly improve lives. Recently, this bond has deepened beyond aid, focusing on trade, technology, agriculture, and education. As India rises as a global power, this partnership exemplifies South-South cooperation's potential to foster mutual growth among nations with similar histories and aspirations. It underscores a shared commitment to development free from Western control, emphasizing respect, equality, and shared sovereignty. Turkey, strategic partnership amid security challenges. Turkey's engagement with Burkina Faso has gained momentum since establishing diplomatic ties in 2012. Since 2014, their relationship has grown to include military training, defense cooperation, and infrastructure projects. Due to Western restrictions on arms sales to Burkina Faso, especially amid the country's fight against extremists, Turkey has become a vital partner. Turkey's support extends beyond military aid. It symbolizes a shift towards a partnership based on mutual sovereignty and respect. Under Traoré's leadership, Burkina Faso and Turkey are exploring further collaborations in trade, agriculture, and technology, emphasizing long-term mutual development rather than aid dependence. Cuba, a legacy of solidarity and revolutionary spirit. Cuba's relationship with Burkina Faso is rooted in their shared revolutionary ideals. During the era of Thomas Sankara, Burkina Faso's iconic leader, Cuba provided medical professionals and training, fostering a deep bond grounded in anti-imperialist solidarity. Today, Cuba's return to Burkina Faso signifies more than nostalgia. It's a strategic alliance based on principles of human dignity, sovereignty, and resistance to Western domination. Collaborations in healthcare, education, and biotechnology aim to empower Burkina Faso and uphold the legacy of self-determination championed by Sankara and Fidel Castro. Gabon. From colonial legacies to regional unity. Gabon's recent political transition mirrors Burkina Faso's move away from French influence. As Francophone African nations reevaluate their ties to former colonial powers, Burkina Faso and Gabon are fostering closer diplomatic, military, and economic cooperation. Their partnership underscores a broader movement across Africa, reclaiming regional agency, fostering security, and promoting climate resilience. These collaborations demonstrate that African nations can lead their own development agendas, free from external control, and work together to address shared challenges. Equatorial Guinea, harnessing resource wealth for sovereign growth. Despite its small size, Equatorial Guinea commands significant influence through its oil and gas reserves. Burkina Faso's partnership with this resource-rich nation focuses on infrastructure, energy, and cultural exchanges, building an independent development model rooted in resource sovereignty. This alliance exemplifies the new African diplomatic ethos, leveraging natural wealth to serve national interests rather than falling into the trap of Western resource exploitation. It embodies a vision where resource wealth becomes a tool for self-determined growth. Sierra Leone, resilience and rebirth. Both Burkina Faso and Sierra Leone have endured civil wars, terrorism, and external exploitation. Their shared histories of resilience and rebirth create a foundation for collaboration in agriculture, peacekeeping, and post-conflict reconstruction. Sierra Leone's experience in healing and rebuilding provides valuable lessons for Burkina Faso's ongoing stability efforts. Their partnership champions African-led solutions, emphasizing self-reliance, community rebuilding, and regional stability over reliance on external actors like the UN or IMF. Luxembourg and Bangladesh, quiet diplomacy and developmental models. Luxembourg's role, though behind the scenes, highlights the importance of soft diplomacy. Its support for Burkina Faso's humanitarian efforts through the EU reflects a subtle but strategic engagement, challenging old colonial patterns of influence. Bangladesh, renowned for its success in reducing poverty through social innovation, microfinance, and women's empowerment, offers a model for Burkina Faso. Their emerging relationship underscores the potential for South Asian and African nations to collaborate on climate adaptation, rural health, and social entrepreneurship, building a new framework of mutually respectful partnerships. Challenging the old world order, aid, loans, and exploitation. Burkina Faso's diplomatic shift also challenges the Western-led economic and geopolitical order. Conventional aid and loans often come with conditions that undermine sovereignty, perpetuate dependency, and serve the interests of donor countries. The Global South, led by leaders like Traore, is demanding a new paradigm, one rooted in mutual respect, equality, and self-sufficiency. Africa's voice is rising at institutions like the UN, where it has long been marginalized. Countries like Burkina Faso are asserting that their development should be determined by their own terms, not dictated by external powers seeking to control or exploit. A movement for Africa's future. Burkina Faso's revolutionary diplomacy symbolizes more than national pride. It ignites a continental movement. Across Africa, nations are re-evaluating their alliances, shedding colonial legacies, and embracing models rooted in self-reliance and regional solidarity. This moment echoes the ideals of Thomas Sankara, an Africa that is independent, proud, and capable of shaping its destiny. It's about reclaiming agency, building genuine partnerships, and creating a new narrative, one where African nations are no longer sidelined, but are central players in global affairs. The global implication: Africa's voice reshaping international relations. Burkina Faso's bold stance challenges the old order, compelling Western powers to reconsider their approach. It sends a clear message: Africa is no longer a passive recipient of aid, but a continent capable of leading its own development and forging equitable partnerships. As other African nations observe these moves, a new era of diplomacy is taking shape. It's an era defined by sovereignty, mutual respect, and South-South collaboration, a paradigm shift that could redefine global power dynamics for decades to come. A call for respect, equality, and partnership. Burkina Faso's diplomatic revolution is more than a national story. It's a blueprint for a transformed Africa and a more balanced world order. It reminds us all that genuine progress comes from respecting sovereignty, embracing regional solidarity, and forging partnerships based on equality. As Africa's voice grows louder, the world must listen. Burkina Faso leads the charge, not with demands for aid, but with a firm declaration of independence, dignity, and shared destiny. The future of global diplomacy belongs to nations that refuse to be pawns and instead choose to be partners. What do you think about Burkina Faso's new approach to diplomacy and South-South cooperation? Share your thoughts below and stay tuned for more insights on Africa's evolving role in global affairs.